That was the toughest part, man. 6 eggs, and then, you work out, and then you have a shake, and then it was 2 lunches. Each lunch would be like,
Oh my goodness, I had to eat 6 eggs for breakfast. Heavens forbid, what a nightmare. And 2 lunches, chicken, broccoli, and rice. Wow! Coach Greg, in today's video, Top Gun. Were they actually natural? Were any of them natural?
everything that Hugh Jackman was doing in Wolverine, you try and figure out what that stuff is.
Does anyone to this day think that Hugh Jackman was natural? And so what do the actors do? Well, they do what previous actors do. We learn from those from the past. Whatever he's going to do, we're going to copy and emulate it as it clearly worked. And what that involves is performance-enhancing drugs. Y'all can dream and think, no, they wouldn't do that. Why wouldn't they? You think there's some kind of moral obligation, moral code saying, no, I can't take that. That would be wrong. For me to use diuretics, fat burners, clenbuterol, masterone, testosterone, tren, you name it. You think there's some moral code amongst moviegoers? Actors, oh, I would not do that. I would never resort to that. Why wouldn't they? They're making millions of dollars. And so what do they say? Well, of course they're going to say, oh, I ate this way and I trained this way and this is what happened.
I mean, Tom's told me he's not competitive. I think that's the biggest load of bull. Maybe that's ever said. I'm like, you might be the most competitive dude I've ever met.
And if you don't think Tom is competitive, look at the guy's physique. He started to show over 30 years ago. 30 years! And look at him now. Does that look like a body of somebody who's natural? Well, I'll just show up shredded, looking better than those in their 20s. Really, people, think of it. Why would Tom in his 50s decide to do this natural, 100%? Why would he not want to optimize his body? To take PDs, HRT, prescribed by a doctor, monitored. Is there anything wrong with that? Should Tom Cruise be shamed? And why do you think they don't admit to this? Because you, the viewers, decided, oh, it's cheating. If he's on HRT to optimize his hormones, well, that makes him a bad human being. Why? Why should it? What is wrong with taking hormones? Women can take birth control as a teenager, but yet men, we can't. Why? Really think about it.
I knew that we were going to be in the jets, but I really didn't understand how intense.
Do people really think all you need to do is take PDs? You don't actually have to go to the gym. Oh, you just work out, 2-3 times a week. PDs, and you look like The Rock. Of course not. You still have to put in the work. Of course, taking PDs is going to amplify the process, make it faster, but you still need to train day in, day out, and that they did. Every single day, 7 days a week. And so really ask yourselves this. If you're natural, can you really train 7 days a week, harder than last time, all day on a movie set, and then do push-ups between takes, always walking around with a pump, and then hit the gym after a full day of filming, 7 days a week, every single day? Of course not. If you were actually natural, you would be overtraining. It would be too much. But with the help of performance-enhancing drugs, such as HRT, testosterone, your body can recover that much faster, put on muscle quicker, and it allows you to get through this.
It pushed me to the limit every time I went up, and it's a really intense experience, and you feel like you're going to throw up the whole time.
And so imagine, you're being pushed to the limit all the time, you feel like you're going to throw up every single day, and some literally are, and you expect them to do this natural.
I got somebody telling me what to eat, I've got a trainer telling me what I need to do for workouts. He's like, and I'm going to be there with you every step of the way, so...
Eat this, lift that, take this. That's as simple as it gets. And so if you think he did it natural, well, let's see. What kind of changes in his body did he make?
I mean, well then, yeah. So I got up to, I usually sit around like 185 pounds. I got up to about 210, and I think I was like 9% body fat.
And so, he usually sits around 185, and he just decided to bulk up. Got up to 210 pounds, and guess what? At 9% body fat. On 9%, not natural, professional bodybuilder, 192 pounds. But yet, he went from 185 to 210. That's an increase of 25 pounds, while at 9% body fat. And so think of it. We actually think that these guys somehow are doing this natural. going up by 25 pounds and reaching 9% body fat. Unless he came out of a concentration camp and was 3% body fat, which he couldn't be, 185, how on earth did he put on 25 pounds while only going up to 9%?
And then I cut down to 183, about 7% body fat for the beach scene.
Imagine the abuse of diuretics to get that shredded. He had to then drop 27 pounds to look shredded with his shirt off for that football beach scene. And so if you think that's healthy, they're not doing anything and everything to get shredded for that role, well, you have no idea what it takes. The starvation, the lack of water, the diuretics, all to get that kind of shredded, that takes a massive toll on the human body.
Well, for me to gain weight, that was the toughest part, man.
Oh, but dieting down, getting shredded, diuretics, water depletion, all that, oh, that was the easy part. What was hard? Oh, the eating to get big. Really? He's going to sit here and tell us that the hard part was going from 185 to 210 while being at 9% body fat. It was so difficult to take in all those calories. And so what would happen if you hadn't have force-fed, ate all those calories? Would you have been saying 190 at 4%? Think of it. It was difficult to eat enough food to get your body fat percentage up to 9% and gain 25 pounds in the process? Makes no sense. Really think about it critically. Imagine you eat as much food as you want, you go and gain 25 pounds while still being single-digit body fat. Oh, and it was hard. It was so much work. The eating?
That was the toughest part, man. I would, for breakfast, it was like 6 eggs, and then, you work out, and then you have a shake, and then it was 2 lunches. Each lunch would be like...
Oh, my goodness. I had to eat 6 eggs for breakfast. Heavens forbid. What a nightmare. And 2 lunches. Chicken, broccoli, and rice. Wow. And what happened to those muscles? If you were 210 pounds, 9% body fat, where did they go? Did the movie end and you said, to hell with it? I don't want to work out anymore? Why don't Hollywood actors look good all the time? If you're a natural athlete, muscles don't just disappear from the body. You don't just stop training and suddenly the muscles all go away. If you're actually natural, you would look pretty good all the time. Sure, you can fluctuate up or down, perhaps 5% body fat, but you're not suddenly going to lose all this muscle. You're not going from 185 to 210 back to 185. And so what? Is he in the off season, 185 pounds, 15% body fat? And then when the movie role starts, he drops 6% body fat and gains 25 pounds? And so what, did he bulk up 40 pounds of muscle? There is no way you can convince me that these guys are being honest.
Yeah, you're trying to cut water out of your system. That's something that's very popular, and that was kind of a trick of the trade that people use. You just try and dehydrate.
Trick of the trade to get dehydrated. And so when you're eating all the time, it's so difficult. But, cutting out that water, that's a trick of the trade. Not going to talk about it. Zac Efron did, but no one else seems to do that.
When your body's been deprived of sugar and sodium and all these things, you drink like a can of Coke, and when your body gets all that sugar, everything tightens up. And so you get this certain kind of vascular look that looks good on screen. But
especially when you're single-digit body fat while taking performance-enhancing drugs.
Everyone ate water. There was a lot of air being eaten.
And so just eat water and air. Water and air, get shredded, have huge, massive, amazing physiques, all 100% natural. Do you really think these guys are doing it natural? Oh, let's just starve ourselves. Let's have water and air. Let's train every single day. Let's shoot from morning till dawn, all 100% natural. Why would we ever want to take HRT? Why would we ever want to use HRT? To use fat burners? No, we would not do that because, we're actors, and actors, they just have a much better moral compass than the rest of human society.
6 eggs, and then, you work out, and then you have a shake, and then it was 2 lunches. Each lunch would be like chicken breast, a full potato, and some broccoli. And I would have 2 of those.
Of course, 2 of those. Chicken, broccoli, and rice times 2. And in the second meal, potato instead of rice. Bam! 25 pounds of muscle, no problem.
I'm Glenn Powell, and I'm going to show you how to train like I did for Top Gun.
But he's not going to tell you what he took. You guys think this guy's natural? And remember, they could never get hurt. Imagine how much that would cost the movies. You're injured from training too hard. They have to hold off shooting for another week. And so they train really safe, right?
And I knew the stakes were high, So the first stop was Ultimate Performance.
And so he knew the stakes were high, had to look like he was an amazing physique. So the first stop was to his local to his local trainer. He would never go to a steroid dealer. Why would he do that? He could go to an actual HRT clinic or his doctor. You see, guys, even if you're taking performance-enhancing drugs, it doesn't have to be illegal. They can quite literally do this under the supervision of their doctor. A doctor's not going to go on a YouTube video and say, guess what? These athletes, these superstars, these actors, they're on HRT. Not going to do it. And so why do you think they're actually going to be natural? Why would they?
Deadlifts are going to work hips and back. That's the most crucial part of, not getting hurt on set. Just gets the entire base. It works everything so that no matter what sort of stunts you do, your foundation is strong, so you're not going to get hurt. The only thing that doesn't work is the chest.
Well, geez, if I had only known that sooner, I could reprogram all the coaching plans I've done for the last 25 years. All you got to do is deadlifts and bench press. Really, and so I guess you get arms like Thor, biceps and triceps just from pulling a weight off the floor. Up and down. Up and down. To build a muscle effectively, the muscle must lengthen and shorten. And if you're hanging your arms to the side and picking them up and putting them down, the muscle is neither lengthening nor shortening, and so how is it getting bigger? And so do you really think you're developing biceps, triceps, and delts by doing deadlifts?
If you do heavy weight, you can't just muscle it up. Otherwise you get hurt.
And so if you do heavy weight, you can't just muscle up or you get hurt. Well, why are we lifting with heavy weights? We're doing sets of 6 to 8. Seems to me if you're trying not to get hurt, you would use lighter weights for higher reps.
We'll put some weights on my waist. That's going to be working the back and the lats.
What about the biceps? What muscle do you think you're really working during a pull-up? You think it's just the back? You're quite literally shortening the arms. Does that not look like a bicep flex? Your arms are overhead, you're pulling yourself up to the bar. The biceps are clearly being used during this exercise.
It doesn't feel good, but it is the quickest way to dust off some abs that have been hiding from you for most of COVID and quarantine.
Or is it a calorie deficit and or cardio which burns off fat? You can do hanging leg raises until you're blue in the face, but unless you drop body fat, you are not going to see the six-pack.
This will shred you up, no doubt.
This is where you'll really start seeing the abs pop.
To get shredded, it's about being in a calorie deficit. It's not about doing sit-ups, it's about being in a deficit. And so how many calories are we burning doing leg raises? Not many. A lot less than going for a walk. And so what's better to get abs, hanging leg raises or a walk? The walk wins hands down every single time. And so just look at this guy. You really think this guy is natural? Oh, but he's not as big as The Rock. Oh, Chris Bumstead's bigger. He's probably natural. Just because there are people on this planet that can look like this natural doesn't mean that he is. Look at the physique. Do you really think that the guy's natural? If you were forced to choose, life's on the line, would you say natural or not natural? Looking for harder than last time supplements? They're actually natural. Click the link in the description. Use code GREG, 10% off. Training book, cookbook, circle diet book, coaching plans by me and my team. Click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Like the video if you liked it. Watch those boops. And until next time, I am out.